everyone, my name is Kigali Cross, and you're watching A Gamer Thing.
Press start.
Welcome to my 4 science guide for the Sirensong C, where I will not only tell you what to do, but what not to do, and why it could lead to your death. Before we start, I'd like to preface that none of the bosses have a cleave, so tanks, you are free to chase newer members to give them a bit of a fright. The first boss you'll encounter is Lugat, the first in a set of disturbing looking bosses. Lugat has some hard hitting abilities and some debuffs to make them stronger, but so long as you're light on your feet, you should have no problem clearing this fight. His first attack is Amorphous Applause, in which he targets one player on the field and then proceeds to cover half of the field. It deals about 12k damage or 4k damage to a tank and has a knockback. The cast is long enough to run out of it in time, though it may require the use of sprint if you are at the very edge. However, standing near the boss during the entire fight will alleviate the worry of making it out in time. Lugat will then cast Hydro Ball on one player that needs to be shared by stacking on them. It deals 30k damage that splits between the party. So let's play Goldilocks, shall we? One person hit by Hydro Ball is too much. 2 people is cutting it close, but doable if both are at full health. With 3 stacked, it deals a decent amount, but you should come out alive easily enough. And if all 4 are stacked, well, that is just right. Next, Lugat will move to the center to cast Sea Swallows All, and I'm starting to think Square Enix wants to do tongue twisters. This sucks all the players toward the center while dealing 4,000 to 6,000 damage. It is immediately followed by Concussive Oscillation. This ability places 5 circles around the map. It only deals 6k damage to a tank, but it's easy to dodge. The next time this cast happens, there will be 7 circles, leaving only 2 areas safe. The last ability is Overtow, which is the same as Sea Swallows All, dealing 4 to 6k damage to the entire party, but it knocks players to the outer edges of the arena and is followed by Hydro Ball. To avoid the party running around like chocobos, it's best to have everyone run back to the center of the arena after being knocked by Overtow. Continue dancing around the boss and you have him defeated in no time. The second boss is so important he is not called by his name but by his title, the Governor. His first ability is Shadow Flow. The Governor will run to the center of the field and then sink into the ground, covering the floor in a windmill shape of shadows. Standing inside will explode you with 1k damage while adding magic vulnerability up stacks in quick succession lasting 45 seconds. His next cast is Bloodburst, which deals party-wide damage of 4,000 to 6,000. Having the magic vuln up debuffs leads to some serious damage. The Governor will then cast Enter Night. He targets a single player and draws them inside, enveloping them in shadows. It will not pull other members standing near the marked player, so there's no reason for anyone to move. The Governor hits the marked player with Shadow Strike, dealing 1k damage, and adds a magic vuln up stack, making each strike more powerful. What are you doing? Don't just stand there! You need to run away from him. In fact, running to the edge immediately after being sucked in prevents him from dealing any damage or any debuffs to you at all. The Governor adds one more mechanic to the fight called Shadow Split. Again, he runs to the center of the field and then summons 8 smaller copies of himself. These 8 shadows circle around him and then walk to a random spot on the map. He then performs Shadow Flow. The split shadows sink into the ground and also become areas not to stand on, seriously limiting the area available. The damage dealt is manageable, but if you have a lot of stacks or most of the party have the debuff, healing through Bloodburst becomes difficult. As such, it is important to note where the split shadows run to avoid the shadows before they even spawn. The split shadows always walk to an area between where the blades of the windmill will appear, so the safe spots will be the areas where only one split shadow is between the outer edge of the arena and the boss. This shadow combo will leave only 4 open spots, 2 in melee range and 2 at caster range. And now it is finally time to face the final boss, Lorelei. Wait, this is the siren that led us to our doom? I thought they were supposed to be enchanting creatures that led sailors to their demise with their beauty and voices. Well, now that we've established that our definition of beauty is very different, Square Enix, let's start the fight. Lorelei has a tank buster called Headbutt that deals 10k damage unmitigated and has no cast. Lorelei's first attack is Virgin Tears, placing 3 blue puddles randomly around the map. Standing in a circle will add the bleeding debuff, dealing 7k damage. As time progresses, this cast gains additional circles, limiting where you can stand. Virgin Tears is directly followed by one of 2 abilities, Morbid Advance or Morbid Retreat. Morbid Advance forces the entire party to walk forward with the debuff Forced March, while Morbid Retreat causes your character to turn around before advancing. Take note of which direction you will be marching and then place yourself so that you won't walk into any circles. The march will have you travel just short of half the arena. Lorelei will occasionally cast Somber Melody, a party-wide AoE dealing 8k damage to DPS and healers and 5,000 to tanks. Halfway through the fight, Lorelei's Virgin Tears now contains 6 circles and covers the outer edge of the field. So long as your healer has been keeping everyone fairly topped off, there should be no reason to fret if you find yourself marching into one of the puddles. The last cast she has is Void Water 3. It is a circle AoE telegraphed on the ground that deals high damage to anyone who stands in it. About 10 to 15,000 damage. So regardless of what cast you are in the middle of, stop and get out. Simply rinse and repeat, and congratulations! You've completed your first dungeon in Stormblood. I hope you found this guide helpful in your future ventures in Final Fantasy XIV. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more guides. Thank you for watching, and take care!